and I did a lot of things, from being a secretary to being a officer to being a liaison manager to being a PR practitioner to being somebody who's a fundraiser. So when you've been around, you do a lot of things for survival. But those bring a little bit of experience that you would like to share with other people. I'm happy to be here. I've come back to plow back by being part of this program. And I'm thinking, I actually said to Anna, if there's an opportunity of me just sharing a few things with you, and that opportunity has come through this project. As there's a lot for you that are coming up, and there's a lot that we can learn from you. So that's the reason I thought I must come back and plow back. Now, the camera apparently will be closed. And I think I can't be talking to people I don't know. If we can take 10 minutes, I don't know whether that 10 minutes will work. 1 minute pitch for each individual. Your name, and surname. When you say name, it's inclusive. Name and surname, what you are doing, with, whether you are in public relations, what are your aspirations? Based on what you've seen or learned, be it theory or whatever, what are your aspirations? Do you want to be, I didn't want to say dreams, but aspirations, I think is the right term. So quickly, so that we get to know each other and reflect, because we're going to have a 2-hour session with you. We might have an extra 30 minutes based on that introduction. Do you agree with us, Anne?
Yes, that is fine, Ma'am Knox. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I'm not sure. I think let's put it so that I can see the list. I am not going to be saying, I will just look at the list and say, and go according to the list so that we can move faster. What do you say? Ashley? Do you want to introduce yourself? 1 minute pitch. Sell yourself. You have time. If you're going to be given $1 million, what would you say?
Hi, everyone. I
Hello.
hope everyone's well. My name is Ashley, and I am currently a public relations graduate. A month ago, I graduated with a diploma in public relations from UNISA, and now is my first day at Paddington Station PR. My aspirations for the future would be just to be able to specialize, especially in media relations. I have a background in journalism, so I would like to get an opportunity kind of to leverage my experience and specialize in media relations in my career. So
Can
yeah,
you run? Can you
so
run with the camera?
can I run?
All right. Thank you, Ashley. I didn't get the organization that you're with.
It is Paddington Station.
Paddington. Paddington.
Yes.
Her English can be very funny, okay? Paddington. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dimakatso. Dimakatso is the first name, isn't it?
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
All right, Dimakatso. I'm all right, thanks.
Hello.
One thing that I have to share with you, because we're going to be very interactive. I am not going to be saying, so and so, do you want to say something? I'm just going to go according to the list so that we fully participate. How is that?
That's
1
good.
minute speech, Timakatso.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello,
I'm
sis.
sorry, I'm a bit lost. My handset just gave up on me right now. I just got back to the meeting, so I don't know where you guys were.
Okay, quickly
Yes.
introduce yourself, the industry that you are in. What would you like to, your aspirations in terms of what you do? And then where did you go? Where did you study?
Okay. All
Thank you.
right. Okay. Good day, everyone. My name is Dimakatso Precious Msipha. I have an undergrad qualification in public relations management. I did it with UNISA and later proceeded to do my advanced diploma in communication management with the University of Johannesburg. I aspire to become one of the best communication specialists. I actually have a love for journalism, actually, but because I couldn't study journalism straight, but I have passion for communications, just communication as a whole. So I would love to become a communication specialist. Yeah, that's what I want to become.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did I see your face, Timakatso? Was that deliberate? I'm not harassing you, but because we are introducing ourselves, can you just endow us?
Okay.
Please,
Let me show my face there.
please, Nani. Oh, ha.
Hello.
Hello, hello. I have,
Hello.
sorry, there's somebody at the gate. Yeah. I'm not attending. Just open the door and say we're in a meeting. So this working at home has its own. Thank you, Timagats. Let's.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Asisipo.
Um, Good day, everyone.
Yes.
Speaking is Asisipo Mika. Well, it's Asisipo Abongile Mika, but I'd really much prefer if I am referred to as Asisipo because that's the name that people usually use and I've been using ever since I was a child. So it's Asisipo Abongile Mika. I hold a undergrad national diploma in public relations management and also an advanced diploma in also public relations management from the Walter Sisulu University. And I am with the host company or host employer called the Joe Public. My aspirations in this beautiful yet hectic life, I would really love to be a communication specialist. I have a passion for communication, also writing sometimes, but if it has anything to do with communication, it can be radio broadcasting, it can be journalism. That is me, I'm there. So, yes, I would really aspire to be a communications specialist. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you. Where do you come from?
I come from the Eastern Cape, Butterworth.
Where?
Butterworth.
Parabe.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I come from Dabangul,
Dabankulu.
Emambondweni.
Eh, I do not know, but I've heard
You
of
now
Dabankulu.
you know.
Thank you so
No,
much.
thank you, Asisipo. I think you might have heard me saying they call me Noxie in short. Let your name not get lost in the system. I think I can relate to what Asisipo has mentioned to all of us. Thank you. Gertrude Mulaba. I'm sorry, Mandibize wrong. Gertrude? Hmm? Hello? Okay. Goodness.
I'm sorry. Hi.
Are you talking to yourself? Show us.
My name is Gertrude Mulaba. I
Mhm.
did public relations at UNISA.
Mm.
I am with PRISA. My host company is PRISA. And my aspiration is to become a good storyteller. I think I have interest in storytelling, just speaking and sharing brands stories. Yeah, excuse me, I'm shy. Thank you.
There's one story for everybody, not for you only, Gertrude.
Yes.
One thing I would like to share with you, all of you. Being shy, not for this industry. Because you have learned, do you know why you went to school and you learned a lot of things? Even this one, you can learn not to be shy. Even your voice to come out so that somebody can hear you clearly. Public speaking is one of them. I wish we were seeing each other live because you would see what I'm talking about. But I'm sharing this so that you all don't have to apologize because your voice is not coming out. You have to practice that voice because this is what works in this industry. Somebody else was saying, Asisipo, I think she talked about broadcasting. So you can't have a soft voice. You don't fight with your voice. You use your voice to reach out. That's what we're saying. We're not saying it, you're going to be harassing people by talking loudly, whatever, but people need to hear you. Thank you, baby girl.
Thank you.
Goodness. Now you understand this is interactive, but at the same time, it's a process of learning a few things, isn't it? Once
Yes.
we get to know each other. Goodness, your turn. 1 minute pitch.
Hi everyone, my name is Goodness Faith Mjali. I did my diploma in public relations and at the University of Zululand, and I currently finished my advanced diploma in communication science at the University of Zululand. And I aspire to be a lecturer. I'd like to actually to become one of the well-known people who have worked so hard in making communication um oh, sorry. Like
You
I would
help
like to
us. You have a glass of water there.
be
You can take a sip.
okay.
Continue, sis. Continue.
Yes, I'd like to be known to take part in everything that has to do with communication. Like if it has to do with broadcasting my face there, like not having to introduce myself, like being known when they see my name, put the face like, okay, this is Faith. She did this and that in communication. Thank you.
You are going to have to position yourself. Is that making sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Goodness. Okay. That you crafted, it takes you where you want to be. So it's part of your dreams and part of how you want to structure your life, where you want to be, how. So fortunately, you are still in this journey of learning at the same time. So it's easier to do it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Nan.
Thank you.
Welcome. Grace? Do we have her in the house? Is Grace in the house? Oh, kuhle. Grace, are you there? I see some movement. Kuhle. Maybe as one of the ground rules, if you're going to be out, you have to tell us. Let's treat this session as if we are in one room and not treat it as if because we're not seeing each other, we're not going to be available.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm not sure if you can hear me clearly. I'm having network issues because where I'm at, we have a power shortage because of
You
the
are
rain.
loud and clear, Kuhle. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay, you can hear me. Okay. So I just joined the class right now. Can you see me?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
lovely. Next time, come on time, eh?
Yes, I've been struggling to join, but I'm in.
Apologies. Okay, let's hope for all these days, really, this power thing is not going to affect us. Let's hope so.
No, yes, it's hope.
No, yeah, it's not in our hands, isn't it?
No, it's not, unfortunately.
Okay. Nice seeing your face, by the way.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
What am I supposed to say, ma'am?
Your name, your surname, your qualifications, your aspirations, where you want to be in life. You have 1 minute pitch. If we were going to give you 1,000,000, what would you say?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kuhlegonke Bonga. I studied at Heidelberg College in Cape Town. I did a Bachelor of Arts in Communication, and then I further studies at CPUT, where I did my PG dip in Media Innovation and Leadership. I then carried on a bit onto my master's, where I did it's media, sorry, it's communication theory. But then life happened, if I can say. But I only have 1 year left. That's going to be my dissertation. What I aspire to do in the communication space, if I can give you a background story, I did my internship at the Western Cape government under DDAT, development, DDAT in economic development and tourism for 2 years. And I was introduced to a lot there. And I found myself working on campaigns. I found myself steering the internal newsletter. And that's where my passion for, if I can say, it's advertising. That's when I discovered that I love playing around with Canva. I love bouncing ideas back and forth with my supervisor, who was Viola, and my other colleague, who was Melissa at the time. We how can I put it? A lot happened. I really enjoyed my time there. And then there was a campaign where we specifically worked on, and it was saving money, savvy spending money. And I came up with this idea of, how come let's just focus on a family, a household, where the mother plays stockful, where the father has to budget for groceries, where the kids have toys that they want to play, that they want to buy, and let's focus on them. And then I named this lady the mother, Jenny from the block. And I enjoyed my time there, where we had to pitch to Ogilvy, and the sessions there, it just opened a spark in me that I actually want to steer and focus maybe on digital marketing, if I could. Maybe not just focus on theory, because I have a lot of theory, but now I want to put some color in my world, focus on campaigns, advertising, branding. That's what I would like to focus on and aspire to be. And as the other lady said before, I do want people to know me. the communication or PR space is very much small. People are bold. I am a shy person. I used to be very, very shy, and I have a soft voice. I'm soft spoken. And I was told that, listen, it's not going to work here in this space. You need to be the center of attention. Wherever you go to, the people you mingle with, they have to say, oh, wow, she is a bright, bold, and well-spoken person. So I want to leave an image. Whenever people see me, I want them to remember me afterwards. And yes, I think I've spoken for a minute or more, but that's just what I want to focus on or aspire to be in the PR and com space.
Thank you, Kohle. If I would have cut that million by 50% for not focusing on time. It's part of, we're learning everything in this, that if you're given a 1 minute pitch, make it a
It
1
must be a
minute pitch.
minute.
But because you came in a bit late, you probably didn't get the ground rules. So you are allowed. And thank you. I think there has been a lot of experience there. You might get to do a lot of things more than what you think you're doing. There's a lot in public relations. We integrate marketing.
Oh,
We support marketing, but we're dealing with bigger publics as public relations. So you will see it in this program of this between these 2 to 3 months that you'll be around. So don't miss. It's going to add value into what you already know and maybe make you to be able to realign. How is that? Okay.
thank you. I love the sound of it. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, Mom Noakes, by the way.
I'm not going
You came in a bit late. Okay. Where are we? Grace, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Hello,
I
my
just
dear.
cannot
Hello.
unmute. I just cannot unmute my camera. It's giving me problem. But can you hear me?
So when are we going to see you?
You will see me next session.
Okay. I don't know, but nice talking to you. Your 1 minute pitch.
My name is Chuguru Mubrawa Grace. I did my diploma in public relation and communication from the University of Johannesburg, and I have been exposed to the digital marketing world, but I don't think it's my niche, if I could put it like that. I would really love to be exposed to the communication industry as a whole, because I really fell in love with communication during my year of studying. So that is why I would love to focus on communication as a whole.
Grace, where are you based?
I'm currently based in Tembisa right now.
And aligned to which agency?
I am with PRISA.
Oh, okay. All right. Welcome on board. If I didn't welcome people, I might have missed them out. Sorry. So whilst we're doing this, we're trying to get to you. We're going for 1:30, Bonil. We might have to do half. That does not mean I don't love you. We'll do the other one tomorrow because I still have time with you tomorrow. Another 30 minutes. So if we can do 15 now, what number is this? Oh, there are 3 people missing, is it? Okay. Letty, we're going to stop now with her first. Letty is going to be the last one.
Hi.
Hold on a sec. Hold on, my dear.
Sorry.
Because we don't want to, we will do the other half tomorrow because I'll still have time with you tomorrow at We're starting at 9. Yeah. But we'll do another half because it's important that these introductions, we get to know each other. Okay. Lady? Do they call you Lady Puff?
Yes, they call me Leti. Hi, everyone. I'm not sure if
Hello.
you can see me. I can't switch off my camera.
Technology in the alarm, don't worry.
Oh, can I start talking or should I wait?
Yes, continue, sis.
Okay,
Continue.
my name is Lethiwe Nolizwi Nene. I'm originally from Durban, KZN. I did my diploma in public relations and communications at the University of Johannesburg, and I am with PRISA. I've learned that the PR industry is very broad, so I would like to be more on the corporate social investment side, work with big brands to help people because I love helping people and I found a way to help people using PR. Thank you.
That means you are more aligned into development. Am I wrong?
You are very correct, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much. We will, we'll try and figure it out. Let me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll have to move faster tomorrow. In that 30 minutes, we're allocating 30 minutes before we start because I don't want us to miss knowing each other and how this can add value into your journeys too. You might have, I think it helps everybody because you get to understand so-and-so is doing this and the aspirations are, we are benchmarking at the same time, we're copying from each other, the good things. Now, do we still have Anna or we're on our own? Okay.
I'm here, Ma'am Knox.
Oh, okay. We are starting, Nana. Sorry, I think we need to structure it in the introductions. Do we have the whole team of Paddy? Whom are we missing?
We'll check to say who is missing, but it looks like we are missing
A
3
few.
candidates. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Nan. Then let's just continue. There is, we are into this, we're going to be talking about the profession, the foundation of public relations, which is what I think you've shown some interest in. And in terms
So
of
sorry, ma'am. Can I disturb you? Sorry, I'm so sorry. We sent a message in the group chat with Pisana one. There's 3 participants in here. We just because we're in one room, we just joined with one device. So there's 3 of us here. It's Lindoku Uhle, and then there's Landa, and then there's Annelisa Pisana from Brandscapers Africa.
Thank you. I think it was key that you highlight that because we're going to kind of like need the reason for anybody we couldn't see here for them to write formally why they didn't attend the training. So maybe in future for anybody who will be sitting in groups, when we start the sessions, always just flag that out so that we can be able to note that.
Makes
Thank
sense.
you.
Okay. We are gathered into this program from November to end of February, I think, or March. This program is a Public Relations Institute program supported by Services SSETA, talking about trying to improve the membership standards of our members, into gaining more knowledge other than the theory get to understand the practical things that are happening in the industry. So it's one of the Institute's role for encouraging people to be members, for encouraging people to look into the high standards that are demanded by the industry. And it is the Institute that stands up for all those to see that they are happening in the market in the right way. So it is our advantage as we meet for this program that we think will benefit from what the Institute is trying to do and what the skills transfer body is also funding in the market, which is the skills transfer body is SSETA. So on behalf of the Public Relations Institute, we are grateful that we've had this opportunity. And on behalf of the Institute, we are grateful that SSETA is sponsoring the program. So it is for that reason that we need to acknowledge both these bodies for what they are trying to do to us as members or prospective members or people who are aspiring to be the people in the space that we're practicing in. For today, okay, proof as one of the ground rules. Again, ground rules are that we manage nomophobia is about the mobile phones. There are some of us that are always keen to be on the phone. It is a tool that we use, but it is also a tool that can mess things up for us. So we just need to be able to manage it, especially that we are not seeing each other. But if the phone is going to be an open tool, that might take you out of focus. We're going to be working on slides, which is what we'll be presenting. That's one. Two, there could be some course material that will be sent and forwarded so that, because this is going to be a very long process, it can be oral only. The sessions, the format is that it's practical, informal, you might have noticed, but because we want people not to have attention and keep on saying they're shy, excuse me, we can't be shy. And then also participate. That is important because if we're not interactive, that means we're not practicing this, what our industry is demanding from us. So we just need to stop being shy, participate fully. The expectation is that we'll be sharing knowledge, experience, examples, suggestions. That's us and in being interactive. If you have other expectations, I think you had a chance of saying that on Friday. I'm not going to be asking for them today. Then here's the program, the calendar for this course. We are starting on, I think this is the second week because we started Friday, until and mid of first week of February, which is the 8th. It ends there in terms of you participating and having time. That list, you're going to have it so that we save time. I don't have to go through it. But today, what we'll be dealing with is the public relations fundamentals. The other ones, you have it. Didn't you forward it? Okay. Apparently, it was forwarded to you. We don't have to go through it. But if there's anything you want to ask about, you'll ask tomorrow in our first session when we're going to do the other one. Because I'm trying to push now. Okay, let's One of the reasons I tried to find out about what are your aspirations, it's because on this first session, we're actually going to let you to understand more about the profession than some of the theories you've learned, some of the roles and functions of what we do, but the insight about this profession is that we're all about relationships. Even if we are saying you want to communicate, you are communicating to people because there's a relationship. It's either you want to adopt a relationship or you want to make an awareness so that they come closer to you. And in those, they differ, the relationships. They are structured differently. Some have an influence in what you do as business. They're called stakeholders. Some are people, even if they're not stakeholders, they could be opinion leaders. Those opinion leaders can take you down because of their opinion. You might have seen people being in a, when there's toy, you can't avoid or disregard people because they're toy, because there's a message there that they are bringing to you. So we need to have that foresight of saying, even if somebody is making a noise, there is something. What is that noise? So have that insight of saying, there must be something. Let me just follow it up so that we can come up with a plan. So we have insight of what happened in Germany, but we're bringing it closer to us and how we see things in life as practical people. Okay, we're coming into why is public relations important? Public relations, because we are mostly in organizations, we are in corporates, we're in different structures. So what happens is we improve the organizational communication. In an organization, there will be policies, there will be practices, there will be procedures. For those people who have been working already, you will find that those are standard things that needs to be sold to the internal publics or to the internal stakeholders. Then, by the same token, we manage organizational crisis and reputation. For those who want to be journalists or who love media, we manage perceptions through making a statement or writing a press release because you want to take out those negative perceptions. You want to sell your own story. You want to give your own facts. We also, public relations is also important because it improves the sound. It improves, want to improve the customer service and building and maintaining relationships. Remember, people will trust you because they know when you are the source of information and you bring facts and you explain things, then everybody will be a happy customer. How do we do this? By planning ahead, by implementing communication strategies, because we're trying to build a brand. We also use platforms for us in the public relations industry. so that people can understand us. So we create those platforms. We get to understand the media trends. We get to deal with social media through not social media only, every other media platform. It could be through television, could be through radio, it could be through newspapers, it could be through bloggers, all of the above, as you both know. We also improve internal communication. Internal communication is for everybody internally. Nowadays, we also talk about internal stakeholders. I think that's the trend now. In my young days, it was internal comms. And with that internal communication, remember, internally, you can't go and do any projects or talk to people outside without talking to your people internally first, because they are your ambassadors. Remember, we come from different areas, but there's somebody who can say or do something good who is a member or an employee, because they know what the strategy that was saying. They know the campaign that is running. They also become part because they are members of that community. So it is important that before you go outside, if there's going to be a press statement, you circulate it internally so that people don't get shocked. They find people asking them outside, they don't know. Advanced professional and career development. Like I have noticed this group that we have here, you don't sleep. You study, you study, you started somewhere, you're still going somewhere, you have aspirations. So it is a way of life. They say at UNISA, I don't know about others because I'm a product of UNISA too. They say it's a lifelong lesson, lifelong learning. Lifelong learning. You never stop studying because things change. Okay, let's just define this public relations. There is a South African version of all the specialists that were around as long as PRISA has been there. So with research, the South African version gravitates with years. Public relations as of presently, and the books that are there, I think the books written by Renee and them. Sorry if people don't understand who Renee is. Professor Dallin, who? Professor Dallin Renee Beneke and others. They have fine-tuned this definition. Public relations is the management through communication of perceptions and strategic relationships between an organization and its internal and external stakeholders. Here comes internal stakeholders. In my days, could have been publics, both internal and external. So this is the definition. So for all the people who thought that communication is not part of public relations, it is part of it. So this is where we're at. This is the definition as condoned by PRISA. In the Society of America, which is Public Relations Society of America, PRSA, as they call it in short, public relations is a strategic communication process that builds mutually beneficial relationships. There comes relationships again between organizations and their publics. That's a shortened version. As it's more explicit, ours So this is what we're talking about when we talk about PR. We're still going to see more of that. Okay. The PR concepts. The PR concepts, these are the things that are different ideas of how we look into this public relations. Public relations is a management function, so they say. And it is that. And there is still something that in the market, they do not see it as a management function. And this is what we've been fighting from 1957. In the boardrooms, it's only corporate who understand that function. Within other levels, they still look down upon us. So you need to know what you're up against. Hence, you still need that voice. The voice has to come from you and explain what is it, the management function. Then one of the concepts is communication. Communication has different levels. You communicate with everybody else. You present to the board, but through channels, internal channels. You bring a strategy, because there comes a day when you'll be able to do that. Bring that strategy on the table, your communication strategy, which is selling the whole organization and its constituencies or its stakeholders. You have to manage the perceptions. You need to build that strategic drift of making the organization to be successful. The relationships that we bring, we can't afford to lose the reputation. That's why it's important to listen to people, to listen to them so that you can plan against those issues that are negatively affecting the organization. The organization is a body on its own, and it's formulated. It has different divisions, levels, structures. So that's what makes the organization. So this concept of an organization is what we need to understand as the public relations practitioners, that the support of the functions that are being done in the organization, they are looking at us to assist them. That's why that strategy is needed. That strategy thing is needed. Stakeholders, we need to know them. We need to have a plan of a stakeholder engagement so that you get to know and not fail them in what you are saying. You are supporting them or you're giving them support on. But if you don't have those stakeholders, that means also your business is not moving the direction of where it's supposed to go. Oh, I think it was the lady from Cape Town. What's her name? I think Kuhle mentioned something when she introduced herself. In fact, when she talked about what she was told about being dynamic, that dynamism is the character that is needed from us to be very dynamic, to understand things, to be analytical, to be able to have plans, because if you don't have a plan, you can't structure your work. And you need to sell that plan to other people. So one of the things that maybe at times makes people not to understand us is when they don't have a plan from you. So you need a buy-in of the plans so that people can understand. And when at times the communication unit or department there's normally a spokesperson. And that spokesperson comes from PR and communication management, and the people who are supposed to be more knowledgeable about the organization. That's why you're supporting a lot of people. You need to understand their roles, and you need to know if there's somebody looking for information, be able to channel that person to the right person. That coordination comes from us as PR people. So then the plan, how that is implemented, the action plans. The action plans, though it implies action. And then it requires that we need to have monitoring and evaluation. Normally, if you've had a plan, maybe this will come out in the coming modules. There's normally in the public relations plan, there's always, in our days, it was .mob. .mob. You define the plan. You have objectives. Then you have a target audience. Then you have your messages that you want to send out. Then you have action plans, the budget, and then evaluation. So these are the things that makes us to stand out when we work, because if we know the characteristics that are expected of us, then it's easier to come up with those. I hope this is understandable. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to ask after this if there are some questions. Good. Now, let me finish that section. Okay. There are a lot of perceptions, what people think about us, and what do we really do? I think there's an old perception about this industry that we are a gin and tonic group, which is what we've been working against for all the years. And we're hoping with your energy, you'll dispel that myth. Because there's something about special events in our territory. They never looked up on us as being strategic. They always thought that they will take us to the event level. So we became event managers only. And yet it doesn't end there. So media, I think it's much better than what they used to think, that we're a gin and tonic group. So there's an improvement. Then somebody in the lobby. What do we really do? Oh, there's a lot. In government, we are called public affairs, and corporates, especially the local and international companies that come to South Africa. Mostly they use the public affair. Oh, there's a lot here. Remember we talked about internal comms? Let's start with internal comms. Let's come to media relations. Let's come to the executive. The executive is management that reports to the board. Influencers, this is a new term for us, but we're seeing the role of them. Then there's cause marketing. We used to call it causal marketing, because that marketing mostly. At times it works in the NGOs. Then there's experiential marketing. Then there's investor relations. Investor relations are invested in investment organizations or companies where you need to be able to work with investors and understand the international the government policies that deals with international people who are coming in to invest. It is a relationship. Sponsorships, what we do sponsorships, if we're going to have an event, like let's talk about a golf day, you look for sponsorships, like Nedbank always sponsors golf days. Reputation management, it's a very serious matter these days, that the reputations are intact, because it can cause a lot. Companies can close down because of that reputation. Crisis communication, when there has been, let's say it's a factory, then there has been fire. We need to manage that crisis. It can affect a lot of things. It can have a close down, a shutdown for years. We can lose a business if we don't have a crisis communication plan, which for the organization. And for most of the time, at times, there are reports that get to be shared, be it engineers or whatever, about the structure. So if that information has not been communicated, it affects even the insurance won't pay the company. If that information has been looked down upon. I think I've talked about special events. Content marketing, that's another one. Oh, there's more. But I think we've covered a bit on the things. Some of them we'll find along the way again. I will have done it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now we're going to talk about the functions. After the functions, I'm going to ask. I'm not talking, I think, go back a bit. Any questions for a break? Not 2 minutes, just to interact. Any questions raised that you have noticed on what we've discussed a bit, what I've shared? Are we going to see hands? How do we see hands here? Is there a first name? I don't like using surnames. Eh? Annelies. I am privy to the fact that there's somebody who has told me. Otherwise, I saw Mpisani Lab. Talk to me.
Good day.
Good day, Buti.
I think from what you have presented, you're very clear and straightforward. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you and you're not very fast, you're very straightforward and audible enough that you leave no stones unturned. So thank you so much for that. Just a compliment, no questions.
And what is your name, Buti?
No, it's fine. You can call me Mpisa. Elizabeth.
I have actually said, I'm not here to. I remember everybody here was positioning himself, him or herself. So it's important that because Nyambono Mkulu, but there's you, that I would like you to position the name, your name. What's his name? Annelies. Okay. I've been told. Thank you. And thank you for your comments. I
Thank you
take
so
that
much.
in. Thank you. So we're moving to functions. Okay. When we look into the type of work that we do, what are the functions? I think by virtue of you being, it's a nice conversation that we're having. We are not starting from minus. It's people who have been to higher schools of learning, who even understand what it means, that there's always research in anything that we do. Then research is number one, because research gives us, get us to be more informed so that we can design a plan based on what we have gathered as information. Research can be desktop, as you know. Research can be based on those voices that of people raising things. It also assists you in coming up with a good plan. Strategy and plan. Strategy and plan is you don't just do it on your own. You can do a draft and go and sell it, and people give you input. Or you can do a workshop and they sit around, they assist you with that strategy so that you can have a plan that you can implement. Management. That block, bulk, we used to call it bulk in our days. Your plan, your PLOC. In management, you plan, you lead, you organize, you control. That's management. Then there's also counseling and advising. At times, we counseling, not in the form of the psychological one, but it's about it is advising people and making people believe in what they do and what you share with them, because you are there representing an organization. And at times you find that people are not in a good space of quickly understanding. So you need to sit and share and make them believe in what you are selling as the organization. Your media liaison, which is part of media relations, works for publicity and placements. We normally, in these, we do plans, because if it is your function, if there's no plan, you can't implement. It's easier even with people that you're going to work with to come up with a plan of doing that media liaison. I think in the coming days, there's going to be a part of that. But what we're highlighting here are the things that we do in public relations as a profession. I heard in some people, I'm not sure whether Pisane, you were already here about the most of the people who are saying they like to do storytelling and they like writing. As we all know, writing is a skill, and writing for different publics is different. The messages that you carry. And at times, even if you are in that organization, you need to have an editorial committee that assists you with whatever you've written. We even write reports, by the way. So writing is writing. You write press releases, you write reports, you write even on that investor relations. Okay, we do, because we support different people. If there is a production line in that organization that you are working for, you never know. There's a day that you might be part of the production line. So that you write something about that product that is going to be produced. Speaking and training. You might have heard me saying the voice should be up. You need to hear your voice. So speaking, you need to be audible. And then there's also a training that goes with that. You don't just go. It's like also when there's public speaking training. There is also in that speaking, whatever you're going to go and talk about, it could be coming from these other functions that we're talking about. But if you're not audible, you won't reach out to that audience. It depends also in what tool that you are using. It could be a radio, it could be internal, it could be a public speaker to an audience, because at times you have to deal with bigger groups other than your internal ones. Reputation management. I think we talked about it in the previous one when we were listing the characteristics, I think. Reputation management, including crisis communication, boundary spanning, yeah, boundary spanning, window and mirror function. In boundary spanning, it's about, if you remember, when there's a press conference, this is more practical, I think, you find that there is somebody who is a moderator there, or most of the time is the spokesperson of the organization, and then who sets some boundaries and who will allow so many questions to be asked. And after that, they close the session. So putting boundaries is always important. So that's why you need to have a plan. Whatever you're going to do, there's nothing you can do without a plan. Because if you're not putting some steps into it, you will lose. You don't want to fall. You want to be upright. You want people to see you for who you are. You want people to see the professionalism in whatever you do. So I think this reputation management is encompassing all that. How are we doing on people who are losing the electricity? Are we still on? You can just write. Somebody wants to talk. Okay. Personality traits. This talks to us now. I'm not here to take you as not being practitioners. You are practitioners. I saw that in the few introductions that I got. So public relation practitioners, you just need, that's the reason we're here. We're here to upgrade from wherever we were through this program so that we can be PRPs with a bang. So personality traits, they strengthen us to be able to build strategic relationships within the organization and its stakeholders. Strategic means setting clear goals and plans to survive in a changing business environment. If we don't have those clear goals, we can't be strong in implementing. Because when we report based on what we said we will do. What is it that we intend to achieve? So that becomes our strategy with clear goals, and so that we can reach out to those stakeholders. We need them. We can be arrogant about things. We need to nurture those relationships. So as a result, as those practitioners, we need to be adaptable, to be creative, to be people-focused, and possess excellent communication skills. But remember, once we have those, we might have a challenge by being slow. Everything out there is so fast-paced, it's not funny. You can go to bed in a very good space in the morning. When you wake up, all the papers are saying a lot negative about the organization. And you have to be, or somebody will wake you up at 3 a.m. to say, what are you going to say? We're going on print. This is what is happening. We have this story. Do you have your side of the story to sell? So that's the pace. It's the demand from outside, not from you. And you can't drag your feet because you can lose. The shares will go down if you are in a company that has shares based on what will come out. But if you are able to answer on time, you can, whatever damage, you can minimize the damage. Phew. I like this question. Are you part of what we're going to share here? Are you a strong communicator? Be it verbal, written, or listening. There is a challenge about listening. For you to be able to assist people, this skill needs to be polished. Because at times we are ready to answer, and yet we haven't got the full story. One of the tricks when you are a strong communicator and listening to people, one of the tricks, I don't know, you might have learned others, but one of them that can ground you is to note down when people are saying something. Because once you're noting, thoughts are coming up at the same time of how you should respond. But it grounds you so that you listen until the end that the person is talking to you and be able to answer and not have a conversation that looks more confrontational at times. Because if somebody feels he or she is not being listened to, it changes the tone. So strong communicators can be aggressive. So we need to avoid that and manage things better. Creative and strategic thinkers, people that capture attention, people that achieve goals in their planning at the same time. Adaptable and flexible. Remember, it's one of the things that we ask for. I've just been shown time, eh? I don't know whether, do you still remember, gentle reminder that we said because we had that session, we were adding 30 minutes? Just a gentle reminder. So I'm going to move faster. That means I need to pace it up. Detail orientated, which is the plan, the prioritize them, pay attention to detail, relationship building, interpersonal skills, which is what we do every day. But those interpersonal skills are key for relationship building and how you persuade people. You don't force them, you persuade. You don't manipulate, you persuade with facts, something that will make people to trust you. Proactive and initiative, self-motivated, independent, or a teamwork. Ethical, transparent. Ethics. I think any profession has ethics, but you might have understood that ethics are really questionable these days. So we need to look into that seriously. PRISA has always have ethics, code of conduct and ethics. So it's important that as members, we get to understand those ethics. What are they? One of them that I can remember, I think that will come up somewhere. I'm not sure whether to my program, what I'm saying now, or to somebody else sometime. But one of them is that we don't do things that don't promote, we don't sabotage the organization. We don't talk ill about each other as practitioners. We don't accept bribes. That's an ethic. We don't so many things, but you might pick it up from the code of conduct and ethics of services of PRISA. I think being analytical was one of them that was in our characteristics, is it? Customer-centric. We need to understand and meet clients' needs because they make the world go round. Those customers bring money on the table. So we can't afford to treat them badly. Oh, okay. Let's move to ethics. Oh, yeah. Ethical issues. At least I had mentioned these already. Corruption in the media. We're seeing a lot of those in the market or within our country. PR consultants. For those who don't know, consultants work. There's a clause when you join that used to be there. I'm not sure whether it's still there. When you join a consultancy or an agency, there's a clause of saying you can't work for another consultancy after resigning for the next 6 months, because that means you are taking their IP, intellectual property, to the next one. So, and which could lead to stealing accounts. So it's something practical, but it's not an easy one. As a result, people don't quickly move from agencies because of that. And you have to work along those lines. Misleading consumers or fake news. You remember during COVID, there was one body that talks. around COVID issues? Was that the government and the Department of Health, Minister of Health? How we avoid fake news is to know the source. If we don't know the source or verify who the source is, that creates problems. False or misleading financial or any other information. For instance, there are people who cook books, cooking books. Yeah, so we can be part of that. We should be. I'm not sure whether I can say this now. I don't know whether they are saying we should be whistleblowers, but that means we can't condone it because it's not ethical. Issues of supplying free anything in return. There's something about lunches and gifts. In some companies, it's a policy. They have a minimum amount. You have to declare if it's more than 500 Rand. If you get to be given a gift. At times, we do get to be taken out for lunch. But be careful. There's a language that says there are no free lunches. When it's not free lunches, there's probably an expectation of some information, internal information that you have to go and share outside the meeting and the things that have been agreed upon. So it's not ethical. Yeah, this one. That threaten to place or withhold advertising in exchange for favorable publicity. That can be very dangerous because within an organization, you would have had money or a budget to be able to do that advert. So that means you want to twist things. You're not allowed to twist things. Go according to the plan. Okay. There is a term, I don't know whether you have heard about what we call a spokesperson. But there's an old term about being a spin doctor or something like that, which is not a good one because they see it as somebody who comes and spin information, give information that does not fully reflect on the truth. Instead of giving facts, because there's always a good way of responding to whatever, if there's a press conference or you have to write a press release, but you need to give a true reflection of what has really happened and not spin. So that spinning, most of the time, that's just doing misinformation. What is ethical is that you provide the accurate and transparent information, and you even at times add either a line, direct line that they will use because of what is happening at the moment, so that they can all feel comfortable and they can trust the process. So we are that misinformation. Okay, then example 2, conflict of interest. As we are human beings, as practitioners, we have our belief systems. We have, be it religious or cultural. But when we are doing this work, we can't use our personal beliefs and we need to speak the truth, because that is going to have an impact. It would be like you're doing an intervention that is not needed, because it's conflicting with what it's either you tell people that I can't be part of this because I have a conflicting views around the matter. So it's affecting me personally. Then you allow other people to take over, like they do in court when there's somebody, let's say you have a relative that is the judge, and then you need to declare upfront that you can't be part of it because there's a conflict of interest. That conflict of interest also happens in the boardrooms. And you need to declare. In some instances, they even make you to sign up when you get into the board. Whether you think there will be something that could be a conflict of interest, you get to raise a hand and say, I'm sorry, I have to recuse myself. I'm involved in 1, 2, 3. I can't be part of it. So they have put here as an example of the tobacco, the anti-smoking campaigns. I think that you will see, but I thought I must use the practical things that it happens because we're human, but we need to guard against, because it's not about us, it's about the clients and the public that we work with. So those ethics must not affect how we should be delivering or assisting or implementing the plan. Oh, that was the role of PR in organizations. But they bring then in that role, what your Grace is battling me. Grace, if you are in, please don't panic if you have not, because I think it's being recorded. 1, 2, there will be these slides. I'm sorry you're battling. You are battling so much. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Okay, so let's talk about marketing versus public relations. If you remember in our introductions, I talked about this, that we're also servicing in marketing because we're a service function. So in marketing, we are targeting customers. They are targeting their customers as their audience, whilst we are targeting and maintaining the relationships with customers. So if you can see that we are working hand in hand, but they zoom into one specific thing. Aim to create a strategy for targeted, in marketing life, for targeted customers, consumers. So there must be a marketing strategy. We use promotions as in marketing and pay for branding. Versus us, we don't use adverts. We use the below the line marketing, which doesn't cost money. We are a saving group in an organization because most of the time we don't normally have a lot of budget, but whatever we can, we never stop to do the functions. We find a way around to make it work. If we are big, we're a big organization. When there's a campaign, we work with marketing, and there's an element that we put in. It's either us understanding the target market and create messages that can be used in the campaign, but work with, because they have a budget to pay for our campaign or our advert as the marketing people. We focusing, this is marketing, on returning direct sales through promotions. No, we have specials. That's the marketing side of things. In PR, we even focus on if we're looking for media coverage, we don't want to go and pay for that space, but we want to find a way of how we can get into that airtime, yaga SABC or a television, without paying. That's us. If we have a way, we ask for an interview of there's something we want to share. That's why those relationships with the media houses are strengthened every day. We make media our best friends because it depends on what we are saying. We're not advertising. We're talking news. We want people to know this. We're sharing what hasn't, like if there's a sword turning ceremony, that's a free one, because we are maybe bringing the president into that sword ceremony that we don't pay. We're just lashing on the bandwagon. That's why we also look into who is going to be, what do we call it? The somebody who will make this event to be very important. A crowd puller. That's why, because we don't want to pay. We're saving a budget. But remember, once we think we're saving a budget, when there are budget cuts, they come to us. We're the first people to be chucked out monetary-wise. Even if that has been done, we don't cut the goals. We can cut, but we don't cut the goals. You'll get that somewhere in some of these days that they talk about that. Let's move. Oops. Integrated communication. We'll make it. Okay, let's talk about what is integrated communication. It's because, if you remember, I have said there are a lot of, we service a lot of people in the organization or divisions or units, whatever, departments. But in those, let's say, for instance, there is going to be what was called annual report those days. I think it's called an integrated report nowadays. What the reports after the financial year of reporting, which is every organization, be it a government one, so we need to have those reports. It's integrated because it covers everything, including what we call a sustainable report. Sustainable report is about your corporate social investment. I remember there was somebody who said, when an interest in that. Because it's when the company gives, but that needs to reflect because your what is this now? South African revenue is going to look into you with big eyes. So we do how to get to that integrated report. You would have done the integrated communication because that's where your relationships are structured, the channels of communication, of what you're going to use, the messages, the values, the goals, the objectives of the organization or of the company. You integrate all those. But that would have come up from that strategy. It's a communication. Because it's not an event. It's a process of what goes all the year round before you get into that reporting. And you've been forging those links, you've been looking for information, you've been encouraging people to push and move into things. These are the results of what would have happened for the whole year. But you maintain them and sustain them. So integrated communication ensures all the communication efforts within the organization work together to deliver a unified, stakeholder-centered, and strategically aligned messages. This includes messages that are consistent, channel coordination, audience focus and measurement, and evaluation of effectiveness. Did it go right? Whatever we're doing, that evaluation again comes in because each and every plan must have this element of evaluation. By integrating various tools, communication tools and channels, a brand can build a stronger, coherent presence and drive better results. Oops, there we go. We're still continuing with integrated communication. It is a two-way. It is a two-way symmetrical. That is a model that is part of the communication. And the emphasis is about the communication strategy, where you do dialogues, you open. You don't think you're going to be the master's voice. Master's voice, it's only when it's only you talking. You have that is your two-way symmetrical. And so that it can create mutual understanding and a balanced relationship between the organization and its publics. I think this comes from the old notes of some people who groaning and hunt books like those in the olden days. I don't think you were all born So, then there's managing of stakeholder relationship, both internal and external. There's managing of the brand relationship and brand equity. Remember our relationship with the marketing people, that talks to that. There's cross-functional process and planning, which, if you remember, there is that those departmental or units that were servicing as PR in that integrated communication. One voice, one look versus silo mentality. That's what we are looking at, so that we are talking in one voice and people understand and not operate like we are in silos. You don't work alone. You work as a group and you support each other. Oops. Okay. In these integrated communication, there are more elements that we use as multiple communication tools. Remember the relationships that we're having with different units? Start with marketing, which marketing does advertising so that we can reach a bigger audience and create more awareness. Creating awareness is a public relations tool. And we build credibility and trust as public relations. Sales promotion, it's a short-term incentive for immediate action. These are the elements that we use as communication tools. Direct marketing, to personalize messages directly to stakeholders. We know we see a lot of those in these days. So we integrate and we use these tools jointly with marketing because we work together for one organization. We can't be seen as enemies when we should be joining forces to work together. Social media, oops, to offer real-time engagement. Okay, sorry. I'm just going to make a comment here about social media. When we are doing this type of work, we also need to know or plan on how we're going to reach the people. I think we understand because we're in town, we're in urban areas. Look at the challenge that we have about electricity. That's one challenge. The other one, it's not everybody who can read. If in your plans, you need to have to know your target audience. Whom do you want to reach out? So if you use social media, will you reach everybody? If you use radio, which radio stations must you target? The nationals or partly the community radio stations? The challenge is when you're based urban, when you've never been to rural, you're misunderstanding that one. And then when you go out there, they target you. They're like, oh, so you're only selling it to urban areas. What about us? So we need to be very aware. And I think that goes to understanding that transformation as a national agenda of South Africa, of what the government wants to see happening. And that affects us as communicators. Content marketing to provide value via blogs, articles, videos. I'm not sure how often do you look into LinkedIn? After this weekend, when rugby, hello, when rugby, again, it would be other people don't talk rugby language. Most of them around Josie, they talk soccer. But because I'm from Eastern Cape, we play rugby in the streets, dirty streets. Everybody. It's not men only. So there was somebody on LinkedIn whom I think is one of those people who look into the content marketing. People would say excited, this is what happened, the captain, the coach, and he would respond. That becomes interactive. You are appreciating people who are making comments about your brand. So in our social media stance, we need to bring that element and be able to monitor the ones that you think, if you are doing something, if it's coming up in LinkedIn, somebody must respond. Whatever comments, because there could be the others that are taking you down and not taking you up. You need to give facts. Oops, more elements of integrated communication. Can you see integrated communication is a bit lengthy? Because this is a way of life. This is how we live within organizations. So it's a big thing. Feedback and measurement. Remember when we talked about the plans, any plan has to have, and we're opening feedback with a two-way symmetrical, that we should open feedback. There should be dialogues. We should be open to listen to people. So there's continuous monitoring and tracking. At times, I think this comes strongly from when you were doing a phone in. We do phone ins, we still do them. Phone in programs, but it's mostly from the national radio stations, not from your television. Data-driven decisions, optimize communication results. I think in that research thing that we're talking about, we have an opportunity of getting it data. And we work with data, we communication it. And then we are able to adjust messages and use channels effectively because we have done our research. Timelines and relevance, real-time communication as in STET, to deliver current messages about events, trends, changing stakeholder communication needs, even when there's a crisis, that real-time communication is important. You can't report, for instance, if something happened in the morning as a crisis and you think you're going to go and report in the evening, doesn't work like that. They've already created their own story around your story. So you need to change the narrative, give them bite by bite for all those who want to be journalists. So you need your training shoes there. Real-time audience relevance, deliver messages right on time, add value, internal communication, what you're saying to the external publics or to your external stakeholders, you say it in-house first. Even during crisis, it happens because before you send that out, just say you need to have that blip of saying, just check your emails with sending out a press release in line with 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and that's fun. Okay, now we're getting to the crux of things. We were talking on the periphery. We are now getting into the public relations and systems theory. Remember, as an organization, we're a system that is formulated by different but my apologies, I just had to, there was something in my eye, my apologies. Okay, if it was a plant, if you remember, we made an example of a plant earlier. We have a production line. In any organization has to adapt and adjust or work according to country regulations, policies within the organization that are aligned to that country, to those country regulations. There are policies, there are procedures that are managing the organization. When we want to do something, there's a process to that effect. Then there are also policies of how do we protect people within the organization? How do we protect our assets? So those are the subsystems that are there. You want to say something? I'm responding to that voice. I can't ignore it. Remember, we don't ignore voices. Oh, okay. Maybe I heard it perchance. So the organization has subsystems. What I was sharing, these are the subsystems in the organization. So these systems have functions, functional roles that make this organization to be what it is. And with communication, again, this is what we do. If you are looking into the circle, at the core, there's management of this organization. There is a management system, and that management system, just closer as the second layer after management, there's public relations. There is no mistake why that is put there, because as public relations, we are servicing all these other subsystems. If we're going to do that integrated communication plan, it has to serve everybody. And they have their special needs in these subsystems that we need to align our communication and be inclusive in terms of doing that communication plan or whatever we want to do. It be inclusive for a reason. We never separate people. They are part of us. They are core. They make this wheel to move for this organization. If you might have heard people, when people say, never ignore the man at the gate, because he serves a very big role. One day you might find that you don't even have a machine. You're walking into this company, there's not even a machine there because we did not have the man at the gate. So these are the examples of the systems theory. The systems theory keeps us as a glue, keeps us together. Thank you. Oh, now we're talking about the excellent theory, PR and excellent theory. Excellent theory is about us wanting to be excellent. What do we bring on the table for us to be excellent? We need to have that symmetrical communication, which is more open, it's an open communication. We allow people to talk, which is we're able to get the feedback. We can converse, which opens up a dialogue. But that's us striving to achieve that excellent theory. The value of PR in this excellent theory is determined at 4 levels. Program level that we're running, our functional role as PR people, the organizational role, because we're protecting this organization so that it can look and feel good, make people believe in them as an organization. Then we also have a responsibility of the society, the societal role of us, because we wouldn't survive without that society. Now, these are the things, if you're not in an organization, but these are the things that in an organization, you must see the level at which you are operating. And it is important to give that advice when you see that people have dropped the ball, but find a way of saying, maybe we can look into this because it's going to affect us there. That's why we have a counseling and an advisory role at times. Oh, here comes the old notes, where we come from in the PR models. You might have heard on that two-way, I talked about being one of the models. So let's start from scratch, from the beginning. There was one model called the press agentry or publicity. That is in the early years. This, I'm going to use a terminology that you might not understand, but that comes from old notes. It was used as a propaganda when there's only one voice, then that is giving a story and manipulating you. That's how that press agentry works. Manipulation. It's a top-down approach in terms of management. It's not open to somebody raising a voice. Summarily, that's what it is. Public information. This is the 1900 to 1920. This was called public information. They announce publicly. Partly it's one voice, but they want to take a stand as if they're being open when they tell people. So that's another model. It goes with years. This is, you might still find that when there's oppression, they're oppressing some information or they're hiding information, they still use those, the press agency model and the public information. The third one is two-way asymmetrical. The two-way asymmetrical is the scientific persuasion. You talk statistics, you talk science, you talk because you've done some research. You come back to present the feedback. It is persuading, it is influencing, and it is also the result of monitoring. So organizations use a bit of that even now. But it does test loyalty, it does test sincerity, That's the asymmetrical one. The two symmetrical, as we have shared, it promotes dialogue, broader communication, stakeholder and society, two-way communication, ability to provide responsiveness, openness, and ethical. Um, Communication context. It sounds like just a free language that you can use, but yet it brings a lot of thought process before you get to do anything. Because if we look into this communication context, it is about you want to communicate based on what circumstances? You want to communicate based on what circumstances? So if you want to do an interpersonal communication, it's based on what? Why did you have to do it? That should have been part of your planning. That should be part of your messages. What do you want to communicate to such group? Interpersonal, it's because, it's between people. So that interpersonal communication, there's a lot of homework you need to do before you get to it. Some steps or processes that you need to do. Then there was another one, which is not here, the intrapersonal one. It's before you go and talk to those people, there's an intrapersonal communication you need to do. It's about reflecting as an individual. Again, there's a lot of work there to be done. As an individual, okay, we discovered this and that and that. So remember we said you can't use your personal views based on your cultural or your belief systems or your religious. You can't use those. So that intrapersonal communication, it's for you to talk to yourself and say, okay, this gap must stay there. Let me deal with things objectively, though at times being objective can be very biased objectively, so that I can be able to handle this. So there's that. Then small group communication. Small group communication comes from the fact that that could be 3 to 8 people. At times, that small group is a focus group. And what would be your role? It's either you are doing the research or you are leading a team of researchers and introducing them to some groups of people that you've been working with. Then you can't just bring researchers and not introduce them as the practitioner. Public communication, as you know, then you need to understand why are you talking to these people. They are a public. You need to report to them. You want to go back. There's an awareness. Remember if you are working for health, there's a virus going, you have a plan that you've created, you're going to be talking to people frequently. You'll be on radio twice a week or daily when there's a crisis. You just have to be there. So these are the plans. Organizational communication. There is communication that you would feel as an individual in the unit, as a peer team. This has to go out. But who is going to allow that to happen? It's your management, CEO, or whatever. Most of the time, we're supposed to be at a level where we deal directly with the CEO. If we're talking strategic function, and not be down there at a, not even middle management. We should be in a strategic position. We should be able to sit next to the CEO in a board meeting if we're doing it right. Organizational communication is very key. Mass communication, which is media communication. Mass, that's when we're dealing with masses. So we use which tools? We use the press, we use the radio, we use television. Intercultural communication. A sensitive one. You don't want to go and say that's why you need that editorial committee. If you're going to talk about cultural issues, you need a cultural person so that you don't go and write something that will swear at people. So there is no way that this context can go out without being worked on through a process, consultation, so that things come right. So maybe at some stage you'll be able to share in your organization what type of context are you using. Because now you're not in your organizations, but watch out for these not to go uncontrollable. Be an advisor, be a counselor to show them or lead the way. Again, you also need to be very dynamic and analytical to be able to do that. It does sound like, according to the plan that I wanted to share with you today, this is where we are at. I don't want to close without getting any feedback because we were about to finish at about 3:30, if I remember. So, any comments? Grace Amatle, I think you battled in this. Sorry. If I had it my way, I would give you the gadgets. The gadgets of working on that, so that even if there's no electricity, you still have the signal. Any comments? Last words? Lindy? Is that the Lindy I know? Yes. Lindy, I've been around, so I do know a lot of people. Ningafi.
Yes, Mom Knox is the Lindy, you know.
Oh, hello, sis. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and yourself.
All right, thanks. Well, thank you for being here. I think, I don't know, would we use the last 15 minutes for others to introduce themselves, or we just call it a day? What do you think?
I think let's use it for them to introduce themselves so that next day, tomorrow we can also just push in terms of
Makes sense. Thank you. I think we are with Lindy now. Okay. Apparently, Lindy, you are known. So if there's a suggestion that that we save time. But thank you for being here. Ma, Majaji. Majaji. I need to know what that name means. Okay, I'm going to benefit today. Majaji, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Oh, lovely. Good voice. What does the name mean before you say anything?
Oh, well, I would say it has no meaning, but if you were to ask elders, they would have a meaning for it. But I don't think it has a meaning.
Nana.
I will go do my
There is
research.
Queen Majaji. Nah.
No, it's Mujaji.
Mujaji. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, we need to know this before the program, Ipele, please.
I'll
How
go do my research.
it would enrich us. Thank you. Your turn, Nana.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Majaji Maria Mangena. I studied at UNISA. I completed a national diploma in public relations management. And at the moment, I am placed at Enzo mode. For me, my story is very short. I'm still trying to learn in the PR and communication field. I'm trying to grasp as much as I can, and maybe at the end I will know exactly what it is that I'm interested in. But writing is one of the things that I try and improve every time I do anything that is related to my studies and anything else that I do. So that's my short story.
Nana, what do you do at Enzo?
I just started today. They do a lot of, they do events management. They do.
Where's Enzo?
It's in Sandton.
Okay. And where do you stay?
I stay in Kempton Park.
Long walk to freedom. Yeah. No. Now this is an opportunity for you to open your eyes.
Yes.
And to dream big. That's what we do around here.
Yes.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mbisane.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, good.
I'm with my team here. This is Mbisane Annelise, graduate for last year, graduated last year in public relations.
Mbisane who?
Annelise.
Naleli gama bendilifuna. Please promote that name because it has a meaning, but or maybe that's me and being a mother, okay? And I'm allowed.
Yes.
Okay, so you
Yes,
did what?
I did public relations, media, and communications. We are situated in Sentin, Prince Scrapers. So, Prince Scrapers in Sentin. We are working with Anglo-American. We have been already given a task. So there's a lot of work on the table. So
good one. Good one. Let me just say something why I'm saying good one.
Okay.
There is a history of when people go for internship, they used to be given printing and something. Yeah. We are so grateful that people can be given work because that gives you experience. Yeah, exactly. And that is what is lacking. So, Pinani Lap.
We'll try
Sorry
to
if
manage.
You don't understand, because I will say it some other time. Be strong.
Yes.
Okay, continue, put.
Yes, because I've
What's
also
your interest?
got my interest. My interest is to grow in the PR industry and media industry and be some credible media person in the media world also. Yes, that's what I can say.
Okay, good. We are so grateful that you've joined us, and we're hoping, because we don't want to lose you guys. Don't think that after this is dodge. You're not dodging.
Okay, I've got my team members here. They also want to introduce themselves.
It made sense from that corner. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Landa Khotwana from the Eastern Cape. I have a diploma in public relations from Walter Sisulu University. Yes, ma'am.
Landa who?
Landa Khotwana. Khotwana, ma'am, not.
Ingathi bendiliqonde eligama uba nguKwekana. Enkosi.
Khotwana. And yeah, I have a diploma in public relations management from Walter Sisulu University. I am placed at Brand Escapers Africa. And yeah, I am leaning in towards media as well and broadcasting.
Is that where you want to be?
Yes, ma'am.
You think you're going to have a chance there, or because at times these interests you need to share with the people that you're working with so that they can see how they position you?
With the current position we're seated at, I believe that there's an opportunity.
Yeah, work on it. I'm just trying to motivate you so that you don't slow down.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Which waters were you in? Butterworth? Were you in Umtata? Were you in East London?
I was in East London, ma'am, but because of RNC, we moved to Butterworth.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am, and everyone.
It's in the afternoon, stand Sam.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Yeah. And this is
Lindokuhle Natasha Matsane.
Lindokuhle.
Originally from Mpumalanga, but bred here in Gauteng and placed here in Africa. I hold a degree in public relations and communications and an advanced diploma in communications management. I aspire to be a storyteller. Yeah, I believe I'm leaning towards the correct direction where I am. There's room for that.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Not a question, a comment. I think I like the group. I'm not saying I don't like the others, but the storytelling has been a missing link. And mostly bigger stories that enriches our cultures are in rural. So are you ready to do both? Because maybe if you do a project, I'm just saying you must look into these things for refuge. This is just my 2 cents worth of adding. If you do something like that, you are able to get a bit of funds from your CSI money, from grants that come out, because you never know where you're going to land. But if you have those stories of those people, I look at the other day, UNICEF had a webinar where they were talking about what is happening, they were sharing research, South African research, research that was done in Tanzania, and what else? Another country. There were 3 countries. But you look into how they nurture their cultural things. And South Africa was different. I think we're lily white, sorry. because we only want to deal with urban things. There is so much, we are so rich in our peri-urban, if we want to put it that way, peri-urban and rural, people who can bring, for instance, they were talking about malaria and stuff, but what they have been assisted with, other than the chemicals, there are herbs there that assist in this malaria thing. But if you can't write that story, then I have a challenge.
I'll take that as a challenge, ma'am. I'll look
Thank
into
you.
it.
I'm just adding to it that once you do things, just don't forget that community, those societies. Include, don't exclude. The other one is when we do things as part of this transformation agenda, we need to bring, be able to say it will be youth. It will be, remember, we have a constitution, so we need to work smarter. It will be youth, both boys and girls. It will be seniors, it will be the middle age and the senior citizens. Don't exclude. Our industry is not supposed to do that. And it's us who should be pushing that. Then there are people with disabilities, and we should be knowing everything about that, how we communicate. If there's an audience of people who cannot hear, did we bring a sign language? If there are people who there's something about visually impaired, you can't use bright slides, bright colors, because they're affecting them. So there's so much. It's a way of life, though. Thank you, Nan. I think this was the last person. Oh, we have another one. We still have 3 minutes. 2. Are we done with group here, Annalise?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Budi. Thank you.
So much.
One last one. One. Is this Noko? We're trying to finish. 1 minute. One last one. I think we would have done better. Okay, Balisa. Balisa? I thought there was a hand. Hello. You have 1 minute each to get 1 million. We can't hear you. No. I think there's a voice.
Balisa, you have muted. I don't know. We can't hear you. Or
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Palisa.
All right. Yes. My name is Palisa Mutloka Lekauta. I've studied at the University of the Free State in journalism and media studies. I want to grow as a media practitioner as well as a communication practitioner, but I think I'm leaning towards more broadcast journalism and media as a whole.
Oh. So you need to buy techies. There is no room that you can put a hill when you are rushing for those news.
Yes.
Let alone that in your bag, which is another story that we used to have a challenge with. You have a gala dinner, and then a journalist walks in jeans and techies. Not acceptable. Because in that bag, there must also be a dress or something nice or a suit, whatever, because you also have to look good. People must not look down upon you.
Sure.
Being a journalist doesn't mean you're going to be clumsy and mess up people's events. Nana, thank you very much. So you want to do broadcasting. I've just given one input for everybody. about that dress code? It's why do you think events they write a dress code? That was the last one. Nene, I'm so grateful. Thank you very much. And any last words? Is there something for tomorrow? Is she here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm so sorry I muted myself. Yes, tomorrow's training have been blocked, as well as the one for Wednesday. So I think we are set for this week. We'll meet tomorrow.
Starting time?
But we are starting at 9.
Thank you.
Not in the afternoon, from 9 until 1. But obviously, everyone have already shared their training schedule with their hosts, so that they are aware.
Okay. I think let's call it a day. Thank you very much.
I saw there's a message from Buchilo. She said she didn't get an opportunity to introduce herself.
Nana, we said we were doing, I think there's still a lot of people that we have not talked to.
Oh.
We can do that tomorrow because it's 3:30.
Okay. Tomorrow then, if you didn't introduce yourself, tomorrow first thing.
First thing.
Soon.
Which is we only have 30 minutes for introductions. So we need to be a bit punctual. Okay. All right, Nana. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.
You too. Thank
that
you.
was a
Bye.
good start. All right.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.